What's up, y'all? Welcome back. I am Patrick B. Smith, back with another video reaction. Now we're still doing some of my favorite collaborations, favorite duets, or just favorite duos in general. Now I am doing a reaction, and this is a very special video because I remember this history. I've done the reaction to Brandy and Monica's The Boy Is Mine before, but this is the live performance. Now that I have learned the actual factual history behind this performance, I kind of want to rewatch it to kind of see, how my girls did. But, the funny thing about Brandy and Monica's situation, and it was a real thing. Us in the 90s, we know it. That was a real beef. I honestly, truly, I only thought they didn't like each other because of the media. In the 90s, it was so messy because we didn't have a lot of the social media level that we have now. So everything was really through TV. So all the MTV and BET and Entertainment Tonight and all that stuff was like mad crazy about the rivalry between them. So we just thought they were just not friends. And this is prior to the song. And so being that I was a fan of both of them, if you heard Monica's Miss Thing album and then turn and hear Brandy's first album, self-titled album, how can you choose between any of them? They are both amazing artists. They were both young, they were both gorgeous, they both had some of the strongest vocals, especially at their age, especially the fact that they were R&B singers coming in the 90s behind Whitney, behind Mariah, behind Tony, and all of the strong vocalists. So they still came in and they found a place. So understandably there was some tension, but I honestly never believed they didn't like each other. I just thought that was a rumor. And then they did The Boy Is Mine, and that just took that whole thing to another level. I mean, it was everywhere, and you really felt compelled to pick between them two, but I just refused to. I can never pick between them. I love both of them. And then come to find out, when Dallas Austin told the history about the story about, how they got into the altercation before this performance, and Monica, I guess, punched her, and you just thought, she probably did, because that song Miss Thing where she said she swing out when her friends swing, she's probably about that life. But I just want to kind of see the performance to kind of see, damn, they both did a good job to actually do the performance after walking off of that with that tension. But we'll go ahead and talk about Brandy and Monica in the video, and we'll talk more about them later. Otherwise, let's get into it. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the other side.
So we would never want to do anything like that when it comes to this.
No. Let's sit and talk face to face. There is no way you could mistake for your man you insane. You see, I know that you may be just a bit jealous of me, but you're blind if you can't see that his love is all in me. You see, I tried to hesitate. I didn't want to say what he told me. So without me, you couldn't make it through the day. That a shame. Well, maybe you misunderstood, 'cause I can't see how we could wanna change something that's so good. All my love's all it's mine. You need to give it up. Had about enough. It's not hard to see. The boy is mine. I'm sorry that you think confused. Even lost just me. You do the things you do, keep on acting like a fool. You need to know it's me, not you. And if you didn't know it, girl, it's cool. I think that you should realize and try to understand why he is a part of my life. I know it's killing you inside. You can say what you wanna say, what we have you can't take. From the truth you can't escape. I can tell the real from the fake. When will you get the picture?
I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. And I actually do remember that. What I remember about that performance is the backup dancers. I used to laugh and love them at the same time. So like it was like a ballroom type of thing. And I remember the dress that Brandy had on and Monica had on. So I remember that and them merging together in the end. But start off on some few things. Honestly, I think that, I don't know, maybe it was bigger than people made it out to be because it seemed like Brandy and Monica were trying to be cool. Because at the end of the video, you see Brandy went into that little riff. I heard that, and then she kind of gave a smile to Monica a little bit. Monica smiled back. So maybe they made up, and maybe it was all good. But you have to also remember that they were 17, 18 years old. So having all these people in your ears, adults in your ears, could have swayed them. But overall, Brandy looked kind of mad in the beginning, but she served the vocals. You hear that? She was way up there. But when she was up, she was running down. Did you hear her part when she was going into the chorus? How she went up, down. Ooh, it was so yummy. I love that woman. I love her voice. I love that Brandy rises above any occasion and she shows out vocally. She's one of the greatest. And then kind of how her notes were higher and Brent and then Monica came in and she was low. You hear that run Monica did down there? And she did it again right here. Ooh. Then she went up. And then her and Brandy came together and they both were exchanging. So Monica took the low, Brandy took the high, then Brandy went low, Monica went high. It's the subtle details of certain things that people miss because they're so caught up in the hype and their names, you don't really pay attention to the art and the craft, the actual gift that they both have, the things that they were doing with their voices at 17 and 18 years old. Come on. The fact that they got on stage after having an altercation and still delivered like that, give it props. Props to both of them because in my opinion, when it comes to great singers, if you think about great singers from the 90s, you would not be able to not list Brandy, for one, because she has a specific way of delivering a song and her tone, and it's one of the greatest gifts in mankind. And then Monica has the exact same type of capabilities, but she's a more, I guess, lower register type of singer, but she be giving it. She's like one of the greatest as well. So both of them together, genius. It's just I guess just unfortunate that people just can't see women get along, see women work together. It's always got to be this whole competition, but those are both of my girls. I love them for life. Many more videos come from them. I definitely want to keep them in good standings on my channel as well because they're one of the greatest ever. So appreciate you guys checking me out. Like, comment, and subscribe. And you gotta be safe.
He belongs to me.